What is going on, Knicks? Knicks Media, baby. We got 1 day away. This is going to be the season preview, all right? The season preview right here on Knicks Media. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Knicks season is tomorrow, folks. Can I get a hype in the chat right now? Hype in the chat. We're going live real quick to do a season preview show. My final record prediction for the Knicks. My final seeding prediction for the Knicks. I want to get your thoughts of your predictions for the Knicks in the comments. Whether you're watching us live right now on YouTube, live on X. Salute to everybody tuning in. Shout out to BetUS, of course, for sponsoring Knicks Media all season long. You guys can receive your 150% bonus on your first deposit, 125% on your next two, up to $2,000 by using promo code YouTube150. Folks, Knicks basketball is tomorrow. We will be doing a live watch party right here on Knicks Media for the entire game, so make sure you guys pull up for that. I cannot wait for it. All right? I also want to break down the official roster for the New York Knicks today because that came out, and there's a lot of excitement around these New York Knicks, a starting five that consists of Brunson, Anunoby, Josh Hart, Bridges, and Karl-Anthony Towns. I mean, we got unfortunate injury news to Precious Achiuwa. He's going to be missing the first part of the season, but could be worse. Landry Shamet's injury did not help him try to make the roster. So we got a lot of things to break down right here on Knicks Media. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way in, folks. Knicks basketball is back. As a Jets and a Mets fan, last night was tough. But what's getting me through those misery, and I know we have some Yankees fans in the chat. Congratulations to you guys for making the World Series, of course. You guys are not down in the gutter like I am. We also have Giants fans in the chat. I mean, you guys have a different season. You know, your expectations weren't high, so the losses for you guys are probably not as bad for the Jets' perspective. But all that matters is the Knicks are back, and that's what I'm trying to say here, man. The Knicks are back. The roster is finalized. We're on a prime time starting off the season, the whole world watching. You know, when you are the first game on in the NBA, everyone's tuning in. The whole NBA world's watching tomorrow night in Boston, the Knicks taking on the Celtics. Absolutely love it. Shout out to JT Gaming in the chat. Let's effing go. Knicks Nation's in the chat. I like that Hukporti and Kolek made the roster. I'm predicting 58 wins from JR Batista. All right, JR. Very optimistic. I love that we got the rookies making the roster as well. I think that's a positive. Dan Williams says, yes, Richie, good to have this line, which is good for UK Knicks fans. Absolutely. Let's go. Glad to have you in the chat, Dan. Glad to have you in the chat. So let's get into the roster officially for the Knicks. If you guys missed it, it is live on their website. All right, so starting off with the rookies. We got all four rookies making the roster. Pacome Daddier. Now, Pacome Daddier is interesting because he finished off the preseason looking really good. You can argue, like, wait, Pacome Daddier could be something. Can Pacome Daddier fill in for the injured players? Is he going to have an impact right away on this Knicks team? I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. 6'8", 210, 19 years old. He impressed in preseason. I don't think he's going to crack the rotation, only if there's a lot of injuries. But, you know, the one thing that this Knicks team could benefit from a lot is if they can go out there, and I'm looking long-term real quick, if we can have our four rookies, Pacome Daddier, Tyler Kolek, Ariel Hukporti, and Kevin McCullough Jr., who we have not seen yet, develop and become long-term role players. Can you imagine we got four of these guys as actual role players, but knowing the Knicks, they're probably also trade assets. So we got Pacome Daddier making the team our first-round pick. Tyler Kolek, the rookie. Now, some Knicks fans feel like he's ready to go right now. Some Knicks fans believe, hey, Tyler Kolek can be part of this rotation, backing up Brunson immediately. Now, Deuce McBride and Cameron Payne are definitely going to be ahead of him on the depth chart, in my opinion, but I think there's an opportunity for Tyler Kolek. I mean, the one thing that we like about Kolek as a Knicks fan base is that the playmaking feels like it's good right away. That doesn't need improvement. I mean, it needs improvement, of course. It's not perfect, but he immediately helps the Knicks from a playmaking standpoint. He's probably the best playmaker on the team in terms of getting his teammates involved. I mean, outside of Jalen Brunson, of course, he does that very well, but that's what he's known for. Ariel Hukporti, the rookie, showed some promise in the preseason, 6'11", 250 basically. He was dunking on people. I mean, he looks like a young DeAndre Jordan-esque type of player. it'll be great to see if he can be a guy to develop, because if there's one position Knicks fans are upset about right now, it is a center spot. So if we can get Ariel Hukporti to develop and be a big man and kind of compete with Jericho Sims, that'd be massive. And we have the other young guys, Kevin McCullough Jr., still injured, did not play at all in the preseason, but he's going to be learning behind Josh Hart, really, because that's the type of player we want him to turn into. Jacob Toppin, I have no expectations for him whatsoever. I don't see him touching the court. Miles McBride, baby. Now, this is a guy that has a chance to be the sixth man for the Knicks, to be our leading scorer off the bench. What a role. I mean, what a player for the Knicks to all of a sudden, put a lot of trust in, right? There's going to be a lot of trust in Deuce McBride this season, man. He's coming off averaging 8.3 points per game. I guess this is his career, or is that last season? You look at the stats last season. In 28 minutes of action, or no, this is splits. So you see what Deuce McBride did last year. Now, all of a sudden, this is the preseason. This is what he put up in the preseason. That's what we're looking at. So in the preseason, he played 3 games, put up 17.3 points per game. So all of a sudden, Deuce McBride, Knicks fans, he's going to be thrown into a role as the primary guy off the bench for the Knicks. He's going to have to lead the Knicks in scoring off the bench. Do you think that's possible? I think it is. All right? I think it is. So shout out Deuce McBride, one of my favorite players in the Knicks. Knicks fans, let me know your thoughts. What's your level of expectations for Deuce McBride going into the six-man role? You can look at it this way. He's the new Emmanuel Quickley. Going into the season last year, Emmanuel Quickley was the sixth man. And then we traded him mid-season, right? So that's how you got to look at Deuce. And now let's start with Precious Achiuwa, who is coming off an unfortunate injury. He's not going to be playing tomorrow night. In 263 games, he puts up 7.8 points per game. I mean, Precious Achiuwa had a really good preseason. That's going to hurt that we're not going to have Precious off the bench, man. That's definitely going to hurt. Now, who's going to step in for him? Are we going to see Hukporti? Obviously, we're going to see Jericho Sims, but who's going to replace Precious Achiuwa off the bench? I don't know. Is it going to be Bacom Daddier? I mean, he's not the Precious Achiuwa type of player, so we shall see. And then other bench players, Jericho Sims, definitely going to have some minutes for sure off the bench for Jericho Sims. You can argue that he's going to be the first man off the bench now that Precious Achiuwa is injured, to back up Cat and back up, OG. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know. But Jericho, this is your time, man. This is your 4th season. We need you to break out into a player we've never seen yet. We need you to be able to hone it down low, rebound the ball, protect the rim, and maybe we get some high-flying alley-oops and stuff to spark some energy in this team. Now, a very underrated piece, in addition to the Knicks, I think, is Cameron Payne. Cameron Payne could be that. I think he's going to be the second leading scorer off the bench next to Deuce McBride. I think that he has a chance to kind of be that pesky, energetic player that Knicks fans can just rally around. He's that pest that you just hate going up against, but you love having him on your team. So come on, Cameron Payne. We need you to be that guy for us off the bench. Come in, give us some. Can we get 10 plus off the bench from you? Is that too much to ask? 8 points, 12-point range a game for Cameron Payne. I think he can do that. 30 years old, savvy veteran, perfect player for a win-now team off the bench for the Knicks. And then getting into Mitchell Robinson real quick, we're expecting him to return to action at some point in January. So hopefully by the time Mitchell Robinson gets back, we are well in, first, second, or third place in the East. Now getting into the starting 5, baby. Starting off with Jalen Brunson. Woo! Let's go, Jalen. Jalen Brunson, man. What to expect from Jalen Brunson? What do you guys think, man? This is where I really want to go back to full screen. Because Jalen Brunson is coming off an MVP-level season. And I think he's about a match. I think he's going to play his best brand of basketball now that he has Karl Anthony Towns and Bridges next to him, comparatively to Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson. I mean, Robinson's still here, of course, but you replace Julius Randle and, you replace Dante DiVincenzo with Karl Anthony Towns and Bridges. I think that complements his game a lot, especially Karl Anthony Towns. The pick and roll, the pick and pop, we have a real duo now in Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson. And I'm expecting Brunson to have his most efficient season, with, putting up a lot of efficient shots, not chucking it. I think his field goal percentage is gonna skyrocket. I don't know if his points per game is gonna be the same. Maybe. I mean, hey, 27 plus per game last year. I think he can match that. I don't see a reason why he can't. Right? I don't see a reason why he can't. I still think Jalen Brunson's going to lead this Knicks team in points. He's going to lead this Knicks team in scoring. He's going to be the captain of the squad. All right? He's going to be the captain. And I expect him to be the head of the snake. Now, Karl Anthony Towns is an interesting player. He's making his Knicks debut tomorrow night. And, folks, don't forget, do us a favor. Smash the like button on your way in. We're live on Knicks Media giving you the 2024-25 season preview right here on Knicks Media. So we appreciate you guys. Don't forget to smash the like button for the boy. Smash the like button right now. Now, Karl Anthony Towns is making his Knicks debut, man. This is a player that, look at his career numbers, man. His career numbers is off the charts. It really is. 22.9 points per game for his career. 7 feet tall, 250, 28 years old. Averages a double-double for his career in 573 games. Like, we need Karl Anthony Towns to be the best version of himself. Obviously, it's going to take a little bit for him to get adjusted to New York City, to get adjusted to his new teammates. But, like, Knicks fans' expectations should be 23, 24 points per game, basically just replacing Julius Randle's scoring. Randle put up 23, 24 points per game every season for the Knicks when Brunson was here. So that's the exact player we're expecting from him. More spacing on the floor is what we're expecting. And it's going to be interesting. So, Kat, we need you to be efficient from downtown because you were not that good from beyond the arc in the preseason. So that needs to get cleaned up. And speaking of efficiency from downtown, Mikal Bridges. Bridges was 2 of 19 or something like that from three-point land in the preseason. That cannot happen, Bridges. We need you to hit your shots early on in the season. Now, I don't know. There's a lot of speculation about Bridges like changing his shot formation and like, it's not the same and his shot's broken. I'm not going to go that far yet. But we need Bridges to stay confident with his shot. Don't rely too much on the three. Attack the paint. Hit your mid-range shots. So I'm not concerned about Bridges until there's a reason to be concerned whatsoever. I know there's a lot of people in the NBA that's trying to bring down the Knicks vibes and all that, but I'm not doing that just yet. So Bridges making his Knicks debut tomorrow officially. It's going to be a fun time. OG Anunoby starting next to Bridges. Now, the defense from OG in the preseason has been absolutely beautiful to watch. OG Anunoby, I think, is the X factor for this Knicks team. I think the Knicks play their best brand of ball when he's on the court. He is such a Swiss Army knife. His versatility, everything about OG Anunoby is beautiful. I can argue that he's the piece to really allow this Knicks team to be a perennial like contender. Because you can't just have 2 superstars and not have a good role player around them. And that's OG Anunoby. What better role player? And I don't even want to say the word role player. The only reason why I'm saying role player is he's like not the face of the team. It's Brunson's team and now Karl Anthony Towns' team. But OG's right there as the most important piece next to Bridges and, of course, Josh Hart, who we're going to get into next. So OG, the Knicks are like 23-3 with him on the court. It's that simple. Josh Hart, the heart and soul of the team, hasn't really found his offensive rhythm in the preseason, but I think a lot of that has to do with his role on this squad, kind of sacrificing, his shots and kind of being a teammate that is getting his teammates involved, rebounding, pushing the ball. But I want to see Josh get aggressive on offense sometimes, man. An aggressive Josh Hart we saw in the playoffs could be beneficial. It really could. So that's the starting 5, and that's the overall roster for the Knicks, man. That's the roster for the Knicks. So I don't know what's to come of it, but that is the roster for our beloved New York Knicks. Now, chat, right now, let me know your score, your record prediction. Record prediction for the New York Knicks right now. You let me know. Record prediction right now for the Knicks. Let me know in the chat, folks. Let me know in the chat your record prediction because I got a lot of interesting takes about it, man. I got a lot of interesting takes, and I'm curious to get your takes first. So last year, the Knicks were the 2nd seed in the East, and they had, 50 wins, I believe? Correct me if I'm wrong on that, chat. But boy, oh boy, we need to go out there and win, man. No excuse. Now, as you guys know, BetUS Sportsbook is the proud sportsbook sponsor of Knicks Media. the Knicks over-under is at 54.5. So Dan has 55 wins. That's right over the over. The Knicks are at 54.5 on BetUS Sportsbook, folks. So if you guys want to go check out BetUS Sportsbook, here is their website. They got awesome bets on there. You guys can use the promo code YouTube150 to get your 150% bonus on your first deposit, 125% on your next two, all the way up to $2,000, folks. Shout out to BetUS. Oh, wait, now it's at 53.5. The updated odds actually is 53.5. So if you want to take the over on the Knicks 53, let me ask this. It seems like Knicks fans, do you have the Knicks getting over 53.5 wins? Yes or no? Yes or no? Right now, chat, let me know. Do you have them getting over or under 54.5 wins? Let me know right now, chat. They also have NBA player stat things, all right? Wow, look at these. To average 2 or more made threes per game, the odds for Brunson is at minus 900. That is very likely. To average 3 made, wow, this is interesting. Where's Brunson at? Brunson's at plus 350 to average 3 3-pointers a game. That's an interesting stat line. So if you guys want to go to BetUS, they got a lot of options, man. A lot of fun options over there. Shout out to them. I had us at 60 before the cat trade. So you're saying the Knicks are going to get less now after the cat trade, Sherwin? You're not a fan of the cat trade? Start Deuce instead of Josh Hart. Have Josh Hart come off the bench. I would not hate that. I would not hate that. I think Deuce McBride starting next to Brunson is pretty dangerous. But the only thing that I'm worried about is where's our rebounding. Josh Hart is arguably we need him in the starting five from a rebounding standpoint. Do we trust Karl Anthony Towns getting all the rebounds? Josh Hart is a really good rebounder. That's one thing I think we need to realize about Josh Hart. 50 and 32 for the Knicks, Richie. Hey, I saw you live last night. You were tight. Yeah, I was tight about my Jets, Jamal. You were correct on that one. But at the end of the day, man, I think my prediction is 55 wins. You got it. 55 wins is what I expect from my Knicks. And there's no reason why they should not win 55 games. Remember, last year, the Knicks went on that run because we made that trade for OG Anunoby. Now we have OG for the full season. So now we have him for the full training camp, preseason. He's comfortable with the Knicks. We don't have to worry about, him getting adjusted. We have to worry about Cat and Bridges getting adjusted and getting acclimated and getting Mitchell Robinson healthy. Precious Achiuwa is not healthy early on. But I think that what the Knicks have showed me in the preseason, what they showed me last year, there's no reason why the Knicks cannot win at least 55 games. And I think that can make them the second seed, even the first seed, potentially of how the Celtics look. I mean, the Celtics had 60-plus wins, but I want a top 3 seed. Anything less than that is a failure, but it doesn't matter what you do in the regular season. It doesn't matter if you get to the dance, and you got to go make some dance happen in the playoffs, right? We can all agree on that one. But boy, oh boy, Knicks season is around the corner, folks. We're going to be live on the channel tomorrow night for the watch party. Definitely come check it out, man. We're going to be live with my buddy, Wardy, and it's going to be a fun time. Woo! Karl Anthony Towns debut, Bridges debut, Brunson's back, Anunoby's back. I'm excited, man. These Knicks. Now, how far are we going to go? I think Eastern Conference Finals is the expectation, and the goal is to get through there and go to the NBA Finals. That's that simple. The goal is to get to the NBA Finals this year. Let's be honest with ourselves. This is the first time we have championship expectations. The Knicks have the third best odds to win the NBA title on BetUS. Third highest odds. So when you have the third highest odds heading into a season to win the NBA title, you are officially an NBA title contender. And it's up to the Knicks to actually live up to these expectations. We had high expectations last year, and we actually exceeded our highest expectations last year. Now the expectations are even higher because of how good this Knicks team looked last season, even with all the injuries. So let's stay healthy. Let's let this team cook. Let's play within ourselves. And let's go out there and win some basketball games, man. Let's go out there and win some basketball games. So, folks, that's going to wrap up the show here. Wanted to go live for 20 minutes to break down my Knicks 2024-25 season preview. Let me know your record prediction when the video wraps up. Knicks Nation, I'm excited to launch Knicks Media all season long. Content is going to be everywhere. Make sure you guys enjoy the ride by subscribing here on the channel. Hit the like button on your way out. Another shout out to BetUS for sponsoring today's show. Salute to the chat. We'll see you guys tomorrow night for the watch party. Maybe we'll do a Knicks Celtics preview show tomorrow as well. Peace out to the chat. Love you all, and let's go Knicks.